Hey, Catherine, keep that. I'm going to record. Hello, everybody. This is Travis here at Tpull's Corner, and we are back with Evergreen month for June, which means we're looking at mechanics identified by Wizards of the Coast. And we did most of the abilities, so we've been looking at actions. And my opponent is pure GDP. My question is that gross domestic product? I don't know, but our subject for today is going to be Exile. And it's hard to get out of it. There is Kaya the Inexorable Planeswalker has an emblem. If you can get the emblem going, she can bring spells out of legendary spells only out of Exile. So it's not sacrosanct. There are some exceptions that allow you to get spells out of Exile, but they're kind of few and far between. So to help us, we have Anointed Peacekeeper that looks at our opponent's hand, and we make spells a little more expensive to cost. Sorry, to cast. And we have to wait. What are we waiting for? I can see them, but I think the game froze on me. There we go. Okay. So I think we just do Sheoldred's Edict, right? We'll make that 2 more. They've already got the land, so they're not far away from it. I used Flitting Gorilla in my mill deck, but I didn't have much luck with it. See if they just want to use it as a chump blocker. No. Okay. I don't think we keep it around. Let's go ahead and exile that. And if they want to use Sheoldred's Edict to get rid of the Peacekeeper, they're going to tap out now with everything they have. Which gives us another chance here to put down my Rel. And they can do stuff on their turn, but they can't cast instants on my turn. So if my Rel stays around, this could be fun. Alright. We'll just get rid of that thing. And now we got a token. Now what you gonna do? They're gonna pay the cost. They're gonna get Sheoldred's Edict again. We do have to lose my Rel, correct? Take that, and I think we just get rid of this creature. Auto pay, and Halo Forger goes away. Still managed to make Sheoldred's Edict good twice. That's good value for them. I'm out 2 of my creatures already. I don't have a ton of creatures in this deck. Most of it is a reactionary deck. Okay, saw that coming. What? I don't really have 3, 4, 5, 6. They didn't block. So, Vanish into Eternity is an instant. I can afford it right now. Let's see if they put combat research on it. Cost for a thief comes down. There we go. 2 spells. I think we're going to get away with this. We just exile the Vandal. And then we have 3 planes, so we use our next one. Except we're back up to 20 again, so this is going to take a really long time at this rate. Another thief. And now we've got some stuff we can do. The Line Sash doesn't make the most sense with this deck because I'm exiling so much. There aren't going to be a lot of targets in the graveyard for it. But I did want some graveyard hate so that they didn't bring things back. And let's see, what do I want to get rid of? They've used 2 Prosperous Thieves. Yeah, I know it's my go. I think I want to get rid of Hail of Forager. See what they got. Invasion of Fiora. They do have 3 Halo for. Let's see what else they've got here. What else would I want to get rid of? They got more Shielder's Edict in combat. Fairy Vandals and Fairy Mastermind we knew about. Kato's Pursuit for discards. More Flitting Gorillas. It looks like just battles, right? Invasion of Eldraine. Drag to the bottom. I think this is actually the best choice we got so far. That's going to destroy stuff. I guess we do it and we make them play it. It at least gets rid of the fire so we're not just sitting there letting it grow in strength and power and come at us. Okay, so what's left? We got 2 thieves. I guess Fairy Mastermind is the next good one to get rid of. Kato's Pursuit. Okay. And they're kind of losing creatures, right? We need Flitting Gorilla and 1 more Prosperous Thief, and that's all they have. They've got plenty of removal, but at some point that's not going to stop me. I think we draw a card, and we keep that for discard spells, like this one. Get rid of those 2. Well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do that. That's what I need. Right there. Now we just create these 1/1s all the time, and they can do their board wipes whenever they want. And presto, we just became a poison deck, I guess. If they have removal, they can try and save up. But every time they save up, they accumulate more poison counters. They're looking at all the enchantments like they can get rid of one. Okay. Hello, Forager. What are you going to bring from the graveyard? What's left in there? Another discard spell? Do I care? We'll just let that resolve. We'll get rid of that one, and we'll get rid of that one. There's a reason I've been stockpiling those. Because I'm not stealing your discard spells from you with Stonebrain. Let's see. What happens if we just attack? Do you feel like you have to jump block at this stage? You're going to take the poison. Nice. They ignore the battle. It might be good for them to get the battle. They could have a blocker. And they give it up. We've got just way too many exile cards for the remaining 3 or 4 creatures. And there's no amount of removal that will keep up when I can just create new tokens every single turn. And that's how we do it. Alright, let's go ahead and show you the whole deck. Exile's been around since the beginning of the game, basically, I want to say. Originally it was called Remove from the Game. And there are other spells that you can bring in from outside the game, that you own from outside the game. At some point they decided to make it a zone, and that was better in terms of... But the thing is, Removed from the Game... I think they ran into trouble because there was a card that they could bring back even though it was removed from the game. So that's when they started thinking about Exile, because that created a zone where it wasn't permanently irretrievable, that it was still possible to get things out. Whereas removed from the game really meant you just really can't get it back. So here's what we got. We got 3 of Elspeth's Smite, 3 damage to attacking or blocking creature. If it dies, you exile it. 4 lay down the arms. We need the appropriate number of planes equal to their mana value, and they gain 3 life, but it's all exiling target creatures. Lion Sash is exiling stuff from a graveyard. Sungold Sentinel, also when it enters battlefield or attacks, exile 1 card from a graveyard. The Stone Brains, you get to choose a card name. You can look for graveyard, hand, and library, which is good because some people throw attraction in the graveyard and get it out there. So if I see what they've got in the graveyard, and I suspect they want to get it out, Stonebrain helps me clear the graveyard too. If they've got a card in their hand that I call, they get to draw a new card. But we got 4 Stonebrains. I think I had to burn 1 rare wild card to get that, so I did burn a wild card, just so you know. Annex Sentry, 1/4 with Toxic 1. Exile target artifact or creature with mana value 3 or less. The Anointed Peacekeeper, you saw me use, 3/3 with Vigilance. Just sort of lets us look at the opponent's hand. The other way I would normally do a deck like this is white and black with some discards, so I could get an early idea of what's in my opponent's hand if I wanted to play more like a pure Stonebrain type of deck. But Anointed Peacekeeper, if I get it early enough, it gives me a good look at what my opponent's got. 4 Borrowed Times, one of the more impressive exile cards, because it's exile target non-land permanent. 4 Touch the Spirit Realms. It's good to exile artifacts or creatures. Plus I can channel and discard tokens and just blink the tokens out. 1 Union of the Third Path. Hey, I've got a draw card in here, and you gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Vanish into Eternity. It only costs 3 on everything except a creature. If I want to use it on a creature, it costs 6. But it is an instant, which is useful. Citizen's Arrest. Creature or Planeswalker. Seal from Existence, exile target non-land permanent, plus it has Ward 3, which I think makes it even better than Borrowed Time. So that one's kind of interesting. I've got temporary lockdown. Exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until temporary lockdown leaves the battlefield. Now, this is why I don't have any 2-drop exile cards like Ossification, which is very popular right now and in high use. Because if I use temporary lockdown, if I've used Ossification, whatever I banish with Ossification is going to get to come back, because the Ossifications will go into lockdown. So be aware, when you're dealing with cards like enchantments and exile, you've got to think about how it's going to affect the entire board, including your own stuff. There are so many exile cards in so many colors. We went mono white and we still didn't exhaust all the exile cards available to us. Honored Heirloom, this is why I'm at 23 lands, because we can add 1 mana of any color here. So I've got a Mono Dork with the ability to exile a target card from a graveyard at any point in time. Myrel, Shield of Argive. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities or artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. When it attacks, create 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. So this is one of the very few things that I have that's not exile themed. And I don't feel bad about that, right? Even in discard and mill decks, we don't have 100% discard or 100% mill. You do have to have a win condition in there somewhere. So I chose a creature that allowed me to get other creatures since I have so few. As we go in and look at our converted mana cost, it's 2.8, only 7 creatures in 23 lands. And so this gives me a chance, if it stays around for a couple of turns, I can get a couple of tokens out. Prayer of Binding, we can flash this in, so it's basically like an instant. Exile it to 1 target non-land permanent and opponent controls. You also gain 2 life. Repel the Vile, creature with power 4 or greater, or exile target enchantment. Static Net, target non-land permanent, plus we gain 2 life and get a tapped Power Stone token. Cemetery Protector, we can flash in. It's a 3/4 soldier, so it fits with Myrel. You exile a card from a graveyard. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, if it shares a card type with the exiled card, you get to create another white human creature token. So another token generating creature. And finally, for creatures, Phyrexian Vindicator, 5/5 flyer, you get to prevent all damage. And the ultimate exile spell, Farewell, you can choose one, you can choose them all. Exile artifacts, creatures, enchantments, graveyards. And so I won't exile my own enchantments, because that's mostly what I got is enchantments. Let's see, for the lands, we've got 2 Iganjos, we've got 4 Fair Basilica for card draw, we've got 2 Field of Runes, we've got 2 Myrics, so if I end up in a standoff, I can just start creating Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens and kill them with poison. And we have 1 Blast Zone. And that's the deal. So it's a little bit weird to have Lay Down Arms and only have 12 planes, because I could end up facing opponents with a Lay Down Arms and, you know, they've got like a 7 mana casting creature and I don't have 7 planes out yet. So it's a little bit of a risk there. But I've ignored 1-drops in a lot of my decks, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. So I'm trying to find some good 1-drops. And that was one of the best as far as Exile is concerned. But, you know, I mention that because maybe we want to playtest. Maybe having 4 Lay Down the Arms isn't the best, due to that restriction, due to the fact that I do have so many other non-basic lands in the deck. We'll find out. We'll see if it bites us. But this is a good month for the newer people, newer to the game itself. If you're new to this YouTube channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you've got somebody who doesn't know how a mechanic works that well, Lay Down Arms can go ahead and get rid of this already and save us from poison. Yay! You know, if somebody's not sure how discard works, or trample, or death touch, or, you know, mill cards, we've got examples this month. Just about every deck that comes up. Let's see, what do we do? That's an enchantment. I don't want to have to deal with it. That gets rid of artifacts or creatures. So, Seal from Existence. Ward 3 means you're probably not going to get rid of that anytime soon. It'd be nice to watch them try and watch the spell fizzle. Okay, that one does not have any poison on it. So I feel like I've got a moment. Let's go look and see what else they've got up here. Infested Flesh Cutter, Apostle of Invasion, and Phyrexian Vindicator. They can cast Flesh Cutter with all 4 next time. Let's do Phyrexian Vindicator. Suddenly that costs 6 for them. I'm expecting them to put down the Flesh Cutter, which is just fine because we have Touch the Spirit Realm. Except they are going to get 1 poison on there now. Oh, they didn't attack. Okay, sweet. Let's do... Let's see, that costs 2, that costs 2. Ooh. That's what we call a twofer, pardon the pun. Yes. I like that. Don't have to save anything for discard against mono white. Bird. Do you chump block? You do not. I've got Elspeth Smite, so I'm prepared with that one. They're doing the math. Can't bring down their Vindicator yet. Does this get rid of you? Or do you have protection? It gets rid of them and it's exiled. We don't have anything to exile yet with Cemetery Protector. I'm going to keep hold of a Ganjo for a minute and just pummel the enemy. I'm okay with being reactive here. My problem is I don't have a board wipe, so if they get enough mana, they could use the board wipe and really give us trouble. Let's go ahead and bounce one of those things now. And let's go ahead and bring out Cemetery Protector. Exile that puppy. So now, whenever we cast an instant, we get a 1/1 white human creature token. If they have removal, oh hello. That is a 5-star, which we can get rid of with Lay Down Arms. We took care of their gain of 3 life easy enough. Now Phyrexian Vindicator. That took everything you had, and this will take everything I have. We'll auto pay. We exile it. It's an instant, so we get a creature token. Even if they remove my 3/3 with Vigilance, I can still block your poison token. And now I've still got a Ganjo. They have a backup Phyrexian Vindicator? Oh. Still wouldn't have helped you anyway, but, you know, whatever. They don't wait for the final hit. That's okay. I usually try and say good game, but sometimes people interpret that as an insult, so I kind of just wait to see if they say it first these days. If I'm about to knock them out, if they're in a losing position. I've seen debates on that. I've had debates on the YouTube comment section. Good game for me is, hey, thanks for playing a game with me. It was fun. But I've seen some people say that you don't say it first if you're winning because that can be interpreted as insulting. To which I say, I'm not sure I care because I mean what I mean and I know what I mean. I can't really help it. If you're going to take something positive that I say and interpret into its worst possible connotation, especially in a gaming situation. Let's put down the Honored Heirloom so we can cast more stuff. I'm willing to wait and see if they cast another 2-drop because we have temporary lockdown. Do it. Do it. Yes. They go for the treasure. Alright. Let's do this to them. Gets rid of their treasure artifact 2. It's 2 mana value or less, so we get rid of the ramp that they wanted. They have a blast zone? Oh, are you going to try and pump that up to 3? You don't have enough mana. You can only put that up to 2. And I have 2 Fields of Ruin out already, so guess what's going to happen? They keep Cami of Whispered Hopes. I don't think we care about that. Let's put down my rail while they're tapped. If they don't have an answer right now, that'll let us get out a 1/1 soldier token next turn. If they waste all their time pumping up Blast Zone, we'll just get rid of Blast Zone. See how easy that was? Thank you, sir. Ma'am, whatever you are is Dark Cloud. My rail gives us our first token. Green has things that can destroy artifacts and enchantments, so we're not out of the woods by any means. Ew, gross. That one is gross. 2 of them? Wow. Oh, but you tapped out. So we can flash this in now. Exile 1 of them. Gain 2 life. And then Static Net's good for the next one. Gain 2 life and a Power Stone token. And we attack. We're not completely out of the woods, but I'm starting to feel good. Leer comes out. All you can get is a Green Sun's Twilight, though. You don't care about that. Lay down arms doesn't work. That's better to keep for Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers and artifacts. Let me just do this. And next turn is the end. Unless they have something that throws everything back up into our hands. There is a spell or two that does that for red, or for blue. That would get rid of all my tokens and throw my rail back up. And if it did not just creatures, but it did everything else, it could really be problematic. Good game. And since they got to show us that they had Cami, we could use Stonebrain and get rid of 3 or 4 Camis in their deck too. I hate to jinx this because Wizards has a team of spies that monitors my gameplay. And so if I tell you what the weaknesses of the deck are, we're going to start facing them soon. But I would be remiss if I didn't help out the newer players. If you're playing a deck like this is a reactionary deck. You're counting on your opponent having creatures and threats and putting out threats every turn or so. So if we want to hold on to our cards, some of our big enemies are discard decks. And Super Friends decks, which is pure Planeswalkers. If there's a lot of Planeswalkers, we might have trouble because we only have so many spells that do non-land permanents. And Lay Down on Arms is going to be a dead card because we started with no planes at all. There's one we'll take. That's a 1-star, right? keep it for temporary lockdown? Maybe this is a swarm deck? There's 2. 1 mana, 2 mana. I can channel that if I need to. That's why I didn't use it on Heirloom. I kind of want to wait and see what they're doing here. That's a 3. Do they go for treasure? I kind of hope they do. No, they went for that. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll do the temporary lockdown now and get rid of both of them. And we'll play the Mirrex. Botanical Brawler. Don't give them a chance. They're making good use of the scry. Let's just do this. Get rid of the token. And let's go ahead and bring this down. We don't need to banish stuff from our own graveyard. What else you got? Ooh. Let's go do an attack. Again, we're not getting rid of anything. They have Wandering Emperor. Okay. Something I left out on purpose of this Exile deck.
Strike fast and strike hard.
They declare blocker. Now see, they could have exiled this and gained 2 life. And I didn't use this card in my Exile deck, although it would work because people talked about it being on the ban list, but they made a mistake. So I can do this. They should have exiled Sun Gold Sentinel. They could still exile it, right? Mondrak instead. They're going to create tokens? Okay.
We must protect the people.
Let's see. I can't get rid of Mondrak yet that way. I think I need to get rid of the Planeswalker.
I guess that's that.
I really could use 1 more Plains. But we might finally be in trouble here. Oh, hello. Yeah, we're in trouble.
I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming.
Yeah,
May your blade strike true.
let me finish talking about the things that hurt us. Green and white have a good ability to have all sorts of stuff that gives us problems against... Well, they can destroy artifacts and enchantments. So if they have 3 or 4 of those, they can get rid of our stuff pretty well. We could use that. It's an instance, so we're going to wait. They should go after this soon.
Remember your training.
Give them the choice now if they want to make Mondrak indestructible or not. We save the battle. We lose Sungold Sentinel. And we finally get something there. These don't have protection. They have protection. I should have used Repel the Vile instantly. But... oh, you know what we can do? Exile enchantment. Hopefully they can't protect that. And get rid of Mondrak. Still leaves us with a Planeswalker, and we're kind of out of ammo. Ah, they just have another one. I was kind of counting that they wouldn't have that, so now I kind of need Farewell, right? I need my board wipe already. I did a small misplay there.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Ugh. Well... I think we're too far gone. We really got one more chance to get Farewell, just to even out, just get rid of the creatures alone. But if I get rid of the creatures, then Botanical Brawler comes back. So I guess I just block Adeline this time. They're going to get this anyway to beef up all their soldiers. Farewell's really the only thing I have resembling a board wipe. Which, when you're facing, you know, this many creature tokens and stuff, there is a case to be made to say that I should have put a board wipe in here beyond just one copy of Farewell. And I did not do any good there. So you can see one of the ways we can get got. And instead of destroying the enchantment, they just had their own version of Exile enchantment, which does effectively the same thing. And there were a couple of different ways I could have played that, and I did have a misplay in there, but I don't think any of that really would have saved me there. Even getting the Farewell, I still would have had a Planeswalker on the board to get rid of. Once the field is against you with a Planeswalker plus creatures, you really need something special to equalize. 2 Stonebrains. Wow, interesting. Interesting opening hand. Black and red. Well, let's get rid of more of those, shall we? Assuming they have 3. 3 more, I should say. They've got Gravelighter, Stormclaw, Eaten Alive, and Ghoulish Procession. They only have 1 more, so what do I want to get rid of? Morbid Opportunist, maybe? They've got a lot of Pax Betrayals to take my stuff. And Champions of the Parish. Probably Champion of the Perished is a good one to get rid of. And I don't like having tokens come against me, but we need to get rid of the infantry before it gets bigger. And since we exile it, that stops that from activating. And so, let's do another Stone Brain. Don't make me miss a land drop. They made me miss a land drop. Look at that. That is disgusting. Morbid Opportunist. And what else would I get rid of? Still probably Champion of the Parish would be next. Oh yeah, land starvation is deadly to this deck. Like any deck. If they're not going to give me my land, we're in trouble. Even my Monodork would have been fine. Alright, there we go. Let's just get rid of you. Phyrexian Vindicator's not going to do too good. They've got both Gravelighter and Eaten Alive. And if they bring Gravelighter down, they could get some stuff. This is our third Stone Brain. What do we get with our last one? Something they have the most of, like maybe Pax Betrayal? Or Mirrodin Banesplitter. Hey, did it not do, oh shoot, what the heck did I not? Ah, I messed up somehow. I messed up somehow. What did I do wrong there? I pressed a button while I was looking. Let's do champions again, I guess. Champion of the Parish. Done. Library. Did I not even select them while I was looking through the deck? That could cost me the game. I did an oopsie, though. Now, my problem is I don't have 6 mana for the Vanish into Eternity. And they've got removal for any creature that I put out. And if they get the tokens with Decayed out, Blast Zone can't take care of those. So if I put that to 3, and then I hold on to that for now. I don't think they have discard, do they? Alright, they figured it out. 3 creatures with Decay. That's 6 points of damage. There comes another creature. Ghoulish Procession doesn't work with token creatures. So they're going for card draw. Sacrifice it just to draw 2, and then a third card draw with Gravelighter. Instead of attacking it, now they go get some more zombie creature. Ugh. That's 10 points of damage. So it seems like Arena found, they really went searching to dig for something that would do well against me, and they found something that just generates a lot of tokens. That's 2 Gravelighters, so I guess Gravelighter is what I should have been taken care of. Okay, so I guess we do this in hope they use Eaten Alive as opposed to another type of removal card. We'll get rid of 1 threat. And we'll get rid of a second one there. And we'll go ahead and use the rest just to... Oh, you've got me dead in the next turn already? What are they going to do that does 8 points worth of damage? Oh, they've got all the cards that take control. And they can take control of mine and then sacrifice it. And when they sacrifice it, they're going to create all of those things. Oh, never mind. They just got Light Up the Night. That way works too. All right, yeah, we won our first couple matches, and Arena has to punish us for that. So they've been going to look for... And you notice that they're not the normal stuff that we come across, right? We're used to like mono black still with Shieldreds all over the place. And we're not getting Shieldred all of a sudden. We're getting like ghoulish enchantments. When's the last time you saw that? That's not common. We'll do one more and see if they've punished us enough and they just put us back in the regular queue, or if suddenly we're up against mono green with 8 different spells that destroy enchantments. Because that did happen during my playtesting. And because I only mentioned it once and some people skip the deck tech and stuff, remember to like and subscribe. Their pet has dandruff or something. Look at that. Alright, they're not going to do anything. Let's try and see if they have counter spells or not. They do not, okay. At least not right now. That's the best possible use of Union of the Third Path right there. Artifact or creature. What if I go ahead and stop you from gaining life at all? And we'll just throw down the tap land for now. Kind of slowed them down. Okay, let's just go ahead and start creating mites. Just to have something to do. We still have one for an instant if we need it. The ramping starts with Besieger reaches skyward. That's what I would have gone after with a Stone Brain. Ooh, let's go see what they got. Okay, they've got Case the Joint, Organ Donor, Prize Fight, Master's Rebuke, 5. Let's get rid of... Let's make Organ Donor harder to cast. Organ. And then that's it. They're looking at the enchantment like they can get rid of it. They found Sludge Monster. That's not good. Alright. Lay down arms does not help me right now. So... auto pay. Let's get rid of Blossom Prancer. And we will attack while we can. And here's where they can do Master's Rebuke and Prize Fight. Now they can still cast the other one. Okay, so it's worth it to them to get rid of Anointed Peacekeeper. What are they going to get rid of? They get rid of Case the Joint. Okay. Lay down arms is giving us problems. This is a creature, though. Let's go ahead and do that. And the problem is I still don't have enough mana to do what I want to do. Whereas they can bring down a Hullbreaker Horror now. Get rid of Organ Donor. They're looking at all my stuff again. If they have Titan of Industry or Cleanup Crew, they do. Okay, so this is the other. Is this the pre-made deck? Yeah, this is going to be a problem for me. I needed Stone Brain. I would have looked for Cleanup Crew and Titan of Industry. And now, what do I have left? I can do this and get rid of the Modern Age and their treasure token. And I can draw a card. And after that, things are going to start to hurt. Because Elspeth's Might doesn't do anything. And I definitely need more land drop. Well, Vindicator's not bad. Except they've got Sludge Monster, so I need to save the borrowed time just for Sludge Monster alone. But I can't handle Hullbreaker and Sludge Monster. They've got all that mana now. And that is still not enough for Lay Down Arms. They can just flash in Hullbreaker Horror now. The tempo's all theirs. And so you saw not only did they put us up against things that can destroy enchantments, but the laydown arms did come back to bite us. Because we could have, if we just had a little bit better plain land draw, we could have gotten rid of stuff. So maybe that means that we cycle out one of the laydown arms. But you really need not to miss a land draw against this particular deck. Because once they... I still kind of had fun with that. I should say no because I didn't get the land I wanted. Are we ever really having fun if we're still griping about missing the land drop we need? But I think that's a good example of a run-through of the deck. I might have done a little bit better if I'd paid more attention and made sure to get rid of Champions of the Perished on the zombie deck and then made good with my 4 Stonebrain. It was really cool to have 4 Stonebrains drawn up front. That was really fun for me. I'm probably going to do a black and white Stonebrain deck at some point since I have 4 of them now. Maybe I'd need more creatures. I think mostly I just need to cut down maybe on one of the laydown arms. I do have these 1-drops, and you saw the 1-drops didn't help me against when I really needed help the most. These ended up being dead cards against some really powerful big creatures. So I'm open to suggestions. If I get rid of 1 or 2 of these, what Exile cards should I put in their place? It can't be a 2-drop unless you want to argue that I get rid of Temporary Lockdown. But Temporary Lockdown has the ability to get rid of potentially a lot of the small swarm things, so I kind of like having 1 copy in my deck. And hopefully that doesn't limit me too much. Other than that, we'll just say like we always say, like and subscribe. This has been Travis for Tpull's Corner, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.